Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. This is the Friday, February 12th edition of the Carolina Weather Video, and a snow event set to unfold across a good portion of the Carolinas. And what a snow event it was back around portions of eastern Texas. Let me show you some of the snow reports. This was as of 3 o'clock this morning, and most of the snow was finished in this area, but a lot of spots right around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, right around a foot of snow. Very impressive. Yesterday will go down as the snowiest day on record for Dallas-Fort Worth. Now, there's the radar this morning, and you're looking at heavy, heavy rain from eastern Louisiana through southern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. And then you get into some pretty good areas of snow from eastern Texas into northern Louisiana and central Mississippi. Very light snow, some of it not reaching the ground right now in north Mississippi and north Alabama. There's the watch, warning, and advisory situation with this system. Those peach-shaded counties running from eastern Texas through Louisiana, southern and central Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and into parts of South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina. That is a winter storm warning. North of that, the yellow outlined counties, those are winter weather advisories. Here you go for our area, more specifically the Carolinas here. Roughly, you could draw the line roughly and say along to the south of I-40. That's where you have a winter weather advisory in effect. And then you get down to a winter storm watch from the Sandhills to north of Columbia in South Carolina. And then the winter storm warning includes Wilmington, Columbia, Charleston, and down into central Georgia. And, of course, points west from there. I'll show you my accumulation map here in a couple of moments. Let me show you some of the modeling very quickly here. This is the 6Z run of the GFS. And the American models gradually shifted everything northward through their runs yesterday. Things seems like things have overall stabilized. Now, here we are, and this is 1 o'clock this afternoon. At that point in time, you're looking at pretty good snow falling in central and southern Alabama and Mississippi, beginning to spread into Georgia. Lighter snows to the north of that area. We go out 6 hours later, 7 p.m., and you're looking at some pretty good snow from central Georgia into southern South Carolina and central South Carolina, and a pretty good area of light to moderate snow on the GFS spreading through the upstate and into the southern Piedmont and the southern foothills of North Carolina. You go out to 1 a.m., and the low really begins to crank along the coast. Then the AM goes nuts with it at that point in time, by the way. And you're looking at still a good area of light to moderate snow. South Carolina, a good chunk of North Carolina, and it gets heavier the closer you go to that low pressure area. The system tapers off by tomorrow morning. That's 7 a.m. and then actually that's the last chart I put on there. That's 7 a.m. and then it continues to pull out from there. All right, this is the GFS accumulated precipitation here, and this is going to be tough to draw, but really this contour right there, that is the contour dividing a quarter of an inch to a half of an inch. The blue shade here, that is where you get to a half inch or more. So a lot of spots, North Georgia, upstate of South Carolina, good chunk of central and southern North Carolina in that quarter inch to a half inch on the GFS. The NAM 6Z run, slightly less, but still you're looking at widespread tenth to a quarter, upstate into the Charlotte region, even much of the Triad region, and amounts get heavier south and east from there. So with all that said, let me show you what some of the Weather Service offices are forecasting with this. Back in Mississippi, roughly Highway 82 corridor, 2 to 3 inches or so. Then you get down to I-20, 3 to 5, and maybe locally 5 to 7 inches in some spots. Going east from there into central Alabama, Weather Service is going with 2 to 4 inches near Birmingham down toward Clanton, 3 to 5 inches south of there around Montgomery. And then the heaviest snow with this in Alabama is the southwestern part and southeastern Mississippi. That's where you could see locally 5, 6, 7 inches there in the north of Mobile, but southwest of Montgomery. And now for our area, here's the map I'm going with on air this morning, and I might adjust this as necessary. But for the Triad itself, I'm going really a dusting to an inch, maybe locally more though. And then you get, for a wide area here, for much of, say, Greenville, Spartanburg, Charlotte, Raleigh, the southern part of the Triad viewing area, going with a general 1 to 3 inch snow event. And again, there could be pockets of locally heavier amounts. And then central parts of South Carolina into southeastern North Carolina, we'll call it 2 to 6 inches. I know that's a wide range, but That's kind of what I'm going with this morning. So that's how things look right now. I'll adjust that map if necessary as the morning unfolds, but that's really the general idea. Not a huge event by any means, but enough to probably put some snow on the ground in a lot of places up the I-85 corridor and points south. North and west of I-85, very light amounts of snow looking likely, but it still may be enough to whiten the ground in a number of spots. And before I end the video here, when I go on out to the rest of the weekend, it'll be quiet. But then we go out to the Clipper system, GFS, a little farther north than I'd like to see it for a decent amount of snow. But it does indeed print out some decent precip on Monday. Most of that be in the form of snow. If you're looking for snow from that Clipper, the Canadian continues to be the model of choice. It really bombs that thing out. So we'll deal with that as we get deeper into the weekend. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.